What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Payne. Welcome back to another Omniheroes video. Alright guys, real quick, want to go over a few things that we discussed yesterday about the Abyss boss and the brand new character Catherine. I've noticed that a lot of people have been using her and they are absolutely destroying the boss in terms of damage, doing way more than my ethereals. So for those who are wondering, I don't have any gameplay for her, but I can tell you now, anything that I've seen in terms of damage, she is easily topping the charts. So let me show you guys real quick where we're at here. Specifically this guy here, Vex, who actually has been using him and is absolutely conquering 1, 2, 3, 0, 5 the boss using whatever strategy he's going for. And I believe that is probably using Catherine. Now, with that being said, I do want to tell you guys there is a brand new code that's available for the game. You guys should definitely be using it. So all in capital letters, ABYSSBOSS, ABYSSBOSS. I've used it, unfortunately, so I can't tell you guys what it is in terms, or at least show you guys what it is. But what it'll give you is 100 diamonds, 30,000 gold, and 3 actual free attempts on the boss to up your score. So that is going to be, again, ABYSSBOSS, ABYSSBOSS. So I wanted to talk about that real quick. All right, wanted to get that out of the way. Next up, let's talk about Grayshroom a little bit and where we're at in terms of setting up the proper teams to get the highest scores you possibly can. So a couple things I want to talk about with Grayshroom. Okay, so first off, you guys can see we're first place. Shout out to my guild for kicking ass, taking names. There's a couple people on the main, the Warzone channel that we're talking trash about. If they beat us, they're going to come and find me and then talk trash in the comment section. So shout out to you guys for making this competitive. You're gonna put a fire under my butt because all my members sent me those posts. And secondly, there is a guild out there with my name, Payneblade, level 6 recruiting, and I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, why would somebody name themselves that? But anyways, I guess best form of flattery is that kind of thing, right? So let's talk about this a little bit. So a couple of things you guys need to know and how you strategize and build around the actual Grayshroom realm. So if you're like our guild, you're going to have top end players and then you're going to have bottom end players. Okay, so people who are not bottom end but like lower end of the power scale. So when this whole thing starts over again, you guys want to strategize a certain way like we plan to strategize. So what we do normally is we have a list of players who go from the lowest power to the highest power, and we let the lowest players kill first. Let them take all those units out for you until you hit chapter 9 or 10. The higher end players you save for what you need to do, and that is take care of the higher end content, right? So as soon as stage 10, 11, 12, wherever your lower end guys take you, that's when the higher end guys come in. Now, this is where it's going to matter a lot, okay? You're going to jump into here and you're going to see a few different things that may jump out to you. First off, being the recommendation here for what units to use against what bosses. So I want to talk about this. It's very important, okay? So what you want to do is you want to have your guildies break up and talk about who their best 2 factions are, or synergies are. I apologize, synergies are. So for me, personally, it's Ethereal and Valianters. I always attack Thalos first because of my Ethereals, okay? You guys can see here my Ethereals are fully jacked up and ready to go, and I have the ethereal relics pretty maxed out, so my guys do the most amount of damage. Now at stage 26 or 27 where we're at, your damage plummets, okay? And that's because the boss has an insane amount of defense, power, HP, etc. So normally I would do the max amount of damage, and I'm going to say this now so everyone's aware. There is a cap of how much damage you can do eventually. So even if you overkill a boss and you do insane amount of damage, which you'll eventually notice, if you're killing someone else's damage, but you guys may end up at the same percentage, there is a cap at how much percent each of you will do at the top end. You cannot exceed that cap, so note that, guys, okay? A lot of people are confused by that topic, but if you are looking to maximize your damage, note that your damage, no matter how high you go, will only count towards the actual ranking, but won't count towards the boss because there's a percentage cap that you can only hit per boss. Hope that makes sense, okay? So first thing you're going to do is the recommended is ethereal synergies, increase the attack by 150%. So that matters a lot because these guys will now do more damage. Obviously, your relics will matter a lot here as well too. And by the time you hit this kind of stage, the bosses will actually start killing you. Okay, so it's not just a matter of like, oh, I can survive. It's just all out damage. No, you actually do need to survive a little bit. So hence why I'm using 2 relics here from the synergies, and I can even, as a matter of fact, add a third just for survival sakes. And you guys will see what this does now. If you guys want to see, at least I'll show you. Right, if I click on here, hold on, let me go to this. First off, this one, you can see here for increases the relic damage by 20% for each ethereal members. Limit synergy is 3, but there's actually a reason why this matters a lot outside of just the damage. If you look at here, let me go back actually before I do this. If you look at what the synergy bond does, that's what I want to show you guys. That's an important one as well, right? Because if you click on this and then you go to the ethereal synergy, you can see here ethereals at the start of the battle gain a HP bond buff that increases damage reduction by 5%. And then when there's 3 or more of them applied, if you have 3 relics, on the other hand, you get the damage reduction buff by 10%. And HP bond heroes share the damage taken. So everyone equally shares the damage across the board. So it's very important, guys, to note that as the missions go on, you're going to need more survivability than you do damage, because you actually need to survive in order to put out more damage, right? So here's what I'm going to show you guys real quick. We'll do the battle in a second. Also note that these things do matter. All guild members gain 100% dodge rate. All guild members gain 100% reflect rate. And then all guild members gain 100% crit rate. You can see all those buffs right over here, by the way, okay? The chapter buffs. They will disappear in the next chapter, but they're super important, again, to try to get all your lower end players to get these activated so the higher end players can come in and do more damage, okay? So let me just show you guys real quick, damage perspective, what it looks like when you have a proper team in here, right? You guys can see. I'm gonna just fast forward this a little bit. Actually, you know what? No, we'll keep it times 3. You guys can kind of see. It's only 8 rounds, right? So you'll see how this works. Now, sometimes it's worthwhile noting that you may want to throw in a deviant here and there for a holy shield or a relic that'll give you a holy shield at this point in the stage, because these guys do so much damage as bosses now that, again, look at that. Normally that shield would not have budged, okay? But at this stage, it becomes a lot more difficult to help that. Like, you're going to see a lot more of that happening as you play. So those misses really suck. And also another thing to note, that accuracy right there, see all those misses, is a major part of DPS. So in order to get your accuracy up, you guys should be focusing on the Valianter's Sage Tome and try to move that accuracy percentage a little higher to help all of your units benefit from that, okay? So these misses are going to cause a pretty big fluctuation in damage. So you can see here I'm at 3-8 and he's barely moved any HP. Again, this is going to become the norm as you go further into the damage dealing sections of the game, okay? So for Grayshroom, guys, it's extremely important to note that you guys should be putting, let's see, 1.3, that's actually pretty decent. There's all the damage that you see there, okay? You guys should be putting together a list of people who should be attacking, what units should be using what synergies against what, and that's what's going to make the difference, is that level of organization. So remember, the synergy that you use appropriately will give you the extra 150% more bonus. Have your weaker guys activate this for your stronger guys to attack, and then make sure everybody is attacking the proper unit they have the best synergies for. If you don't do it that way, you're going to suffer. Now, what happens though when you fight these guys, for example? If you don't have Avengers, well, use your best units. That's what it is. I wouldn't use Avengers if they have, like, for example, if my Ethereals are all 12 stars and my Avengers are all 6 stars, I'm not going to use my Avengers. The damage won't be anywhere near, even with the 150% increase. It's just not going to be close. So use your best team to help across the board, but you should be saving the best people's synergies for them to attack the bosses that they're meant to attack, right? And that's how you're going to get this kind of numbers and this far into it. So again, this is what I would recommend. Now, I've made a full guide on the Sage Tomb, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But remember, these stats are from the bottom here, and they apply to everybody in every single synergy and every tune you have. As you go further up here, it applies specifically to the actual faction, or the synergy. But these ones here apply to everybody. So absolutely, if you're missing like I am, your Carnage one should be one of your main focuses, because you can see here, Carnage actually gives you accuracy boost up, and that's going to help you avoid bosses from dodging. All right, guys, it's Payne. Hope the video helped. Enjoy the new code. Remember, it's ABYSSBOSS, all capital letters in the code section. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.